Hello, this is Niranjan with BAS. Welcome to Lazy Ninja BAS. This video is to explain what BMS is, or otherwise called BAS, what involves in BAS. Here's a short clip to explain what we usually go through when we meet strangers or your friends and you explain what you do. I'll have my friend Batman and Joker explain it to you. Let's say Batman becomes a BS technician. Just pretend, alright? How does life be around his close friend who doesn't know what BS is? Hey there, Joker. Hey, Batman. What are you doing these days? I'm a BAS technician now. Oh, what is that? I facilitate the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning to confined space to make it a comfort zone. What? HVAC stuff, bro. Ha, 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 ha. You fix AC, don't you? Ah! Well, this is how my everyday would be with strangers when I say what I do. So, what do I do? What is BAS? Let me explain. Building automation system, or otherwise called building management system, is automating things involved in the building. It can be mechanical, electrical, and many others. When I say building, it can be any building. Corporate offices, shopping complex, schools, pharmaceuticals, data centers. So majorly, BS has higher stake in controlling the HVAC equipment such as chillers, boilers, air handlers, and whole bunch of integrations for all sorts of solutions provided to the building, depending on the size of the job. BAS essentially facilitates to provide comfort to large spaces and conserve energy in the buildings. In many cases, BAS does not include home automation and lighting for obvious reasons. Home automation and lighting is more luxury in the home than to conserve energy. But this is just my perspective. Lighting automation to huge spaces or these commercial spaces is essential and will be controlled from vendors who are experienced in lighting automation. BAS generally does not include lighting automation. Well then, who are the major contenders in BAS? Where can you go for a job? Well, here's a list of all the companies involved for BAS. There's Honeywell, Johnson, Siemens, Snyder Controls, KMC, Automated Logic Control, Sauter, Distech Controls, and guess what? The big giant Amazon. That's right. Amazon has their own team to handle their data centers. So let's discuss how BAS evolved. And back in the days, mechanical equipment were designed to give or comfort the spaces. There had to be manual or human interference to run the whole plant or system so that it facilitates air, water to the buildings or to the infrastructures. Now, back in the days, dampers and actuators used to be pneumatic, which means the control used to be with air pressure. Now, you can imagine, and likely who are BS technicians right now know the pain, how hard or what pain it is to work when it comes to pneumatic systems. So, pneumatic systems is you have air pressure in the main branch which goes throughout the building, which is the main branch, and that branch is given to a electric to pneumatic transducer where it branches out and your controller gives 0 to 10 DC so that that controls the amount of pressure of air going to the dampers or the actuators of the valves. Now imagine if there is a physical damage to one of these pipes, or say physical damage in one of the main pipe, which is carrying the main air pressure. You lose all the units. That's how pain the pneumatic systems are. I hope you guys agree. Nowadays, we are using the electric actuator which are being controlled directly from a 24-volt signal or a 120-volt signal. That can be a hot actuator or low voltage actuators as well. Coming to controllers, now every controller or every vendor, they used to have their own protocols and their own front ends. Just imagine X controller from X vendor, Y controller from Y vendor. X and Y cannot talk. These could not talk because they used to talk in their own proprietary system or the protocols. Then all the vendors came up, joined an organization or formed an organization, and then they decided, let's not do this. Let's not have the monopoly. Let's bring a common protocol where all the controllers can talk and which can give better solutions to the vendor when required. And that's how BACnet came into picture. BACnet is nothing but Building Automation and Controls Network. That's how the abbreviation goes. What BACnet did was the protocol has certain guidelines, certain objects, certain properties, which is to be mandatory for all the controllers whenever they're building or manufacture. Now, all the controllers should have the same protocol or the same objects through which all vendor controllers can talk to each other. Now, what you have is all the controllers talking to each other, and you can have a single front end throughout the building. Well, here's a problem statement even within this. Now we can have a single front end with graphics integrated to multiple vendors, but programming an individual controller can still be from their proprietary tools. There is no open tool where you can program the controller. Nowadays, there are open source controllers where you can freely program, but as business still have to have a monopoly some way or the other just to have their business growing. So there is a loophole and there will be a loophole. The open source and open to organizations or to free world, that's just a hayox. And this is my perspective again. They cannot be business if they give everything open or they keep everything open. Open is just that you have a platform and you can build upon yourself whatever you need. They don't restrict you. You don't have to use this, or we don't have a feature of this. If you're interested, you build it. That's how open, or the few controllers which we are dealing with nowadays, that's how the open or the open term is coined now. So moving on, who are the people or how are people involved in BAS? There can be solution providers for the new construction who can do hardware engineering, software engineering, and graphics building for the whole construction or the new construction. There will be service providers for existing building with their existing controls, which are still proprietary, and they have their own service contracts. Apart from these, there will be facility teams who indulge in BAS and the mechanical system. When you say mechanical, electrical, there will be wear and tear. Who goes back and changes this? It's the facility team. Every building has its own facility team to take care of all this. Now, when it comes to commercial, the facility team just does the wear and tear or the ongoing day-to-day issues if they had. Now, there are facility teams in pharmaceutical. They have to be very particular on how the production is going. There are requirements when the production has to be at certain temperature, certain relative humidity. The air pressure in that room has to be at certain pressure. The corridor of those things have to be at certain pressure. All these has to be facilitated from those facility team with the help of BAS. That's how crucial the facility team's involvement in the BAS and the mechanical system in a pharmaceutical. Now, there are teams which involve in the data centers. There are teams who do just the energy conservation for these buildings. They come up with plans, they come up with projects which conserve more and more energy for the building. What are the bigger things we can look out in the BAS world moving on? More and more as we go through, we still have the IoT based systems coming in where everything is going talking our cloud you don't need. Now, just for an example, we don't provide a hardware server. The server is just in cloud here, and that is how it is. Now, when that comes into picture, there are risks. There are sites where we have experienced a ransomware attack. Now, cybersecurity is one of the major and crucial topics in BAS. There are a lot of changes going through in the industry, a lot of changes in the hardware, a lot of changes in the software, which we will have to catch up, and we will. And the other thing is energy analytics. There are whole new teams or whole new softwares. It is just not energy analytics, it can be any analytics. Analytics can be used to any extent, and it is the big thing right now. Thank you for your time, though. I will demonstrate each topic related to BAS in depth and explain mechanical system, how they work, and how they provide comforts to the spaces. Stay tuned to my channel. Hope you like this video. Please share and subscribe. Thank you.